If I didn't like get the answer within a certain amount of time, then my dad would start getting a little tense.
Hey y'all, I am Michelle Mazelleغ. Welcome back to part 2 of growing up Ghanaian American. The last video was pretty much talking about the Ghanaian culture aspect of it. Today we're going to go a little bit deeper as far as going into the meshing of these cultures. So yeah, let's jump right on into it. So we're going to show a quick little video on YouTube, and it's an old video, and it is showing an African parent helping a child with their homework. So let's watch the video clip.
Read down. Read question 1, Mercy. If Ade have 10 apples and Moses take 4 apples, how many apples does Ade have? So what's the answer? 4. You dey crazy? If Ade have 10 apples and Moses take 4, how you take get 4 again? Counter with your finger. You just want to take counter. Or say, give me game.
So how accurate was the video?
I'd say it was pretty accurate. As far as like back in I guess elementary school, that's what I usually ask for help with, like maybe math problems like that. Video. Yeah, it was usually math problems that I was asking for help on. And it's like if I didn't like get the answer within a certain amount of time, then my dad would start getting a little tense. And I was just like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Then that didn't help, because it's like, well, I still don't know the answer whether you're tense or not. So I was certainly stressful. Yeah, it was pretty similar. But anyways, once I got to like middle school, I just sort of started trying to figure it out for myself. I just didn't even ask anymore because it's so sad. Well, I mean, I got the answer at the end of the day.
You got the answer at the end of the day.
I just did it with my own methods.
You did your own methods. And having 2 cultures, that's definitely more, I feel like, to the African culture. I think that's one thing that me and my husband kind of go back and forth on, because I wanted the kids to be a kid. I wanted them to have the time to do their homework, but at the same time play and be kids. And a lot of times he would be like, no, they have to work, and not really have any set time to just kind of chill out. And with her being the oldest, or the firstborn child, I was suffering. That made it 10 times worse. But I have to remind her that her brother has got his share too, because of course he is the male, he is the son, so of course a lot more pressure is put on him, and so he has had to go through his share with school too. But you graduated with
salutatorian. Okay, yes. It all paid off, I will admit. I'd have to read all the time. I remember, yeah, if I was just
sitting around,
I was 6 years old, 5, 6, in that area. So I'm just like, I have to read. Like, I just wanted to chill and watch TV especially if I'm finished with my homework.
You finish your homework. It's almost like you're never finished.
Yeah.
You're never done. You never, sitting idly is, I guess, a sign of laziness or whatever. I don't really know what that's about, but.
And then, yeah.
Have you ever, is there a difference? Do you see a difference going to the functions, going to family gatherings, at your dad's family versus going to family gatherings at my family's house? Is there a difference in the family gatherings as far as what we do? between both homes or both families, I guess I should say?
I mean, of course, the major difference is the language barrier.
Yes.
If we're talking about family gatherings, like when we go to Ghana and have like the extended family gatherings, then it's definitely different because they'd be sitting outside, sitting outside, just collectively, just talking, like usually about. It sounds serious. It sounds like serious topics or serious issues that's going on. But it was like back when I was younger at like my cousin's house. I don't remember much because I was too busy playing with my cousins. But I just remember like the adults talking. It sounded like they were having a good time. I was having a good time with my cousins, just running around the house. We, ate food, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
No, you probably ate. Yeah, you probably ate food.
Yeah, ate food. And then,
so not really a big difference.
Not really a big difference, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for people to know that, families are families. Things happen at his home and things happen at mine, but as far as the kids go, they don't really know what's going on. I mean, all they know is that they're with their family. Have you ever been teased of having a dad from an African country? Have you ever been teased by anybody?
Not that I can remember. Not that I can remember. Usually when I tell like people, like if my dad's from Ghana, like they're usually like genuinely interested, as far as they'll ask like, does he have an accent? What's over there? But they don't usually ask in a like negative way, or like they don't really ask in a negative way, or they don't respond in a negative or like ignorant way usually. They're usually pretty intrigued and
interested.
Interested.
And I think I need people to know that she's going to school overseas. I think that's the reason why a lot of that didn't happen, that she didn't get teased a lot. Me, on the other hand, I did get, as an adult, having children by a man from an African country, particularly in the black community, a lot of times, very ignorant comments of what people would say. That was just a lot of times unnecessary, and a lot of times it was just by pure ignorance, just things they would say, or trying to talk in a different language, or doing all that. And it's just like, okay, it was cute at first, but now it's starting to get a little bit on my nerves. Educating people to let them know that just because you are with somebody from an African country or have children by African country, you don't want to have your children thinking that the parent something's wrong with that parent's culture. And a lot of times it's the parent that has to be on the defensive. So I'm glad that she didn't get teased for that, but I do know that it has happened to me just from being around people who are just ignorant to the African continent as a whole. So is there a difference between how I discipline as an American versus how your dad disciplines as a Ghanaian parent? Is there a difference between the way we discipline you all? I know you don't get disciplined very often, but you have seen discipline in the household as far as, whatever. Is there a difference between the two?
Yes. Of course, I can't speak on myself for this, so
she doesn't get in trouble that often.
I'm speaking on my brother's behalf.
Her brother, on the other hand, is a different situation.
So me watching from the sidelines, whenever my brother would, I guess, need to be disciplined if he's maybe like just not doing what he's supposed to do. So usually my mom, she's it's not lenient. I'm not saying she's not very disciplinary. I don't know if I said that right, but I'm
still a disciplinarian.
Yes, but there's certain levels. So maybe you mess up one time, it's like, okay, don't do that again. Second time, it's like, okay,
that's enough now.
We've talked about this. Third time is like, okay, then there might be some consequences. Maybe if he was yelling too much at his game, she'd tell him to get off. But once that started being more frequent, there were no more chances.
Yeah.
So he might have to maybe wait till the next day to get back on if he's really acting a fool. But my dad, this one time, I don't remember what was going on. It's like there's no in between. It's just from here to here. So my brother would maybe do something that doesn't require much discipline, and my dad would be like, "All right, no more game until literally whenever." So they'll take the game and I guess put it in their room, whatever console or whatever he had. So there's like no in between with him. With my dad.
And I do think that's cultural. With a lot of times with American parents, we are very, we're going to give them every opportunity to try to get it right. Hey, I'm not going to try to take everything from you. I don't want to deprive you of those things. But a lot of times at the African culture, it's like, okay, sorry, you're done. Like you don't get a chance to try to wrong that right or whatever. And yeah.
They wronged that.
I meant right the wrong. I mean, I had the opportunity to right the wrong. So there's really no in between there. It's just like, okay, I said it, you're gonna have to do it and you move on. I mean, yeah, I do give chance after chance after chance after chance. And even in my home, I can remember getting those extra chances, like to get it together. Like, no, I'm not going to just punish you right off the bat. I'm going to give you the opportunity to get it right before I take away your privileges. But a lot of times, yeah, that definitely is trying to save the individual or whatever. But yes, that is definitely something that definitely happens when you have an. So the last thing is, you say you have Nigerian friends. Most of your friends are Nigerian, And I'm assuming that you do know that there's a tension between African Americans and Africans.
Yes.
It's all over social media. So do you feel like if you had two African American parents, do you feel like that you would have those same friends, those same Nigerian friends? Do you think that y'all would still be able to have the friendship that you're able to have if you were just African American and you didn't have a Ghanaian parent or a parent from an African country?
Definitely probably would have been different. I probably would have had more African American friends if both my parents were African American, because that's what I would have been familiar with.
I think that was the key. That's what you'd be familiar with.
Yeah.
So,
It probably would have been harder though to find friends because I'm not outgoing, so I'd have to find those friends on my own. It was sort of easy to befriend the friends that I have now because we literally lived like door to door in the same hallway, so I was seeing them every day anyways.
Yeah.
But
and then you were able to also go to different churches and Nigerian churches and Ghanaian churches.
Yeah, me and my friend, one of my friends back then, she was Catholic, I'm Catholic as well, we'd go to church together. I don't know many African American Catholics. Most of them were either going to like a Baptist or Protestant church, either on campus or like off campus. So usually the Catholics were the Nigerians, because there was another Nigerian that also went to the same church. But and also I went to my roommate's church. It was like a Nigerian church. It's not Catholic, I forgot what it's called, but it's more, It's more lively, like the church back in my dad's village. Like the music is more lively. It's like
it's more upbeat.
Yeah, it's more upbeat, and it's a Nigerian church, so it's just them and their fancy dresses and stuff.
But that's something
I've seen, something I'm used to. It wouldn't have been like, I guess, out of the ordinary, even though it was a different church. It wasn't really out of the ordinary, I guess. So yeah,
I see. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that is the reason why y'all have that connection, because
and then also, not to mention food again, but I am one of my friends, she doesn't live on campus, she cooks, and I feel like that's also, of course, food is like a way to connect with other people, because like their food is similar, so it's like I'm also eating their same food, versus if I was probably African American, I'd probably be a little skeptical because I've never seen it before.
Yes, I was when I first like, what is that?
Yeah,
about that.
And they used to share like some of their snacks. If they brought some back from Nigeria, they'd share it with me because I like food, and also like I guess I'm just easy to relate to with them. They don't have to worry about me being weird about stuff.
Cause you've seen it.
Yeah, I might have seen those snacks.
You've seen it before, or you know, you experience it, and I think that is important. That you know, you're comfortable on that side, and yeah, that makes sense. All right, you all. So thank you all. That was the growing up Ghanaian with my daughter. I really wanted to do this video because people always, you know, some people might wonder, raising children in an African American home and an African home, yes, the cultures are definitely different. The way we see things are definitely different, and you definitely have to meet in the middle when it comes to raising your children. What is going to be the best way to raise them, making sure that they are getting equal parts of that culture. I think living overseas, I think that definitely plays into my children not getting as much of the black culture as I would like for them to have, because they're over here. So it's almost like I have to introduce that when I go home to my family, and to make sure that they're also getting that side of themselves too, that they know that yes, black people do have a culture, and I have to teach them that too. And at the same time, my husband has to teach them his culture, so that they will be able to know both, and they don't know more one than the other. But it is definitely doable. It is, you know, it just takes two people understanding that the children's well-being is more important than maybe a couple of differences that we have when it comes to, you know, certain things. All right, you all, thank you all for watching these videos for Growing Up Ghanaian American. I am Michelle Mazelleغ, and again, this is Jelly Bean. Check out her channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.